everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It is December 16th today, so we're halfway through the month. That kind of flew by. I thought the first week went kind of regular speed for once, maybe like normal, which is not fast. Well, I should say normal is fast, right? So the speed was like what I think a normal person would think that would perceive it to be, where it didn't go fast, okay? So which was good. And then all of a sudden last week seemed to go fast, and now it feels as though half of December is gone, and the second half of this month is going to be filled with hopefully lots of festivities and holidays for everybody with the Christmas and New Year coming up here. I have one class today with you, and then the open house tonight, and then tomorrow night is no class. But what's left then is on Wednesday, we have a live, and we don't normally have lives on Wednesday, but the ink, paper, scissors is set for Wednesday night, and the sweet class is set for Thursday night. So I have 2 more lives for you in the evenings. And then on Wednesday, we have a live during the day, and it's the Share, Create, Inspire. And I was just talking with Diane, and we're going to bump that class up to be at 10 a.m. Central instead of having it in the afternoon at 1. We have a lot of designing to do yet this week, and if I had to say how many cards we have left to design, I'd have to say there's 5 and 4 and 3. So 5 and 4 is 9 and 3 is 12. And then 4 and a half more. We're half done with the card. So that's 12, like 16 more cards to do. Between now and Thursday is our goal, to have all of them designed. And then Friday, I'm going to try to spend the day prepping and staging everything so that my helpers can come grab everything, and then they can start working on die cutting. They work a little bit over the holidays, and then we come back after the holiday season, and between Christmas and New Year's, we'll start kitting up stuff. So yeah, I was just thinking. So the long story there, or the short story is, Share, Create, Inspire is going to be in the morning at 10. And I just realized I don't believe I've sent the email out for it yet. So I'm glad I hadn't done that. And I can't remember who is going to be featured for the Share, Create, Inspire, but there is going to be somebody, and I have their card here already, so I can photograph the recipe and I'll include it in the email that goes out. So yay, okay. Oh, that took a lot. But so at first I thought there wasn't a lot this week, and all of a sudden it dawned on me there's a lot of designing and a lot of classes this week. So it'll be good. Wow, lots of you guys are here already. Hi, Linda Krause from Manitoba, Canada. Yay. Hi, Mary Lemke. Hi, Margene Eskelson. Hi, hello, Susan Bellamy and Jeannie Gertis. Hi, Angelique. Happy Monday to you too. Hi, Mary Novak. And there's Sherry Martin. There's Mary Carls from Jericho. Yay, for all involved in the school. There was another school shooting. I did not even hear that. I was working with Diane all morning, and I did not see anything on the news. So yes, prayers for the families involved. Definitely agree on that one. Hi, Mary Schreiber. Hi, Julie Buntringer. Looking forward to today's class. Yay. Hi, Donna Gruski. Hi, Holly. Hi, Dan Dawn. Hi, Barbara Godby. Deanne, I've got a stack of mail that came today, and your card might be in there if you mailed it out last week. So I'll let you know once I get it. Hi, Barbara Godby. Hi, Mimi Hohenstein. There's Carolyn King from Lancaster, California. Yay. Hi, Sharon and Nancy Sue and Vanessa and Connie from Rainy, Ohio. So I think you might have seen a kitten sighting. There was a little bit of a honey. She was up here. She was watching the printer like a hawk. I was able to print out the names of 23 people who placed orders of $75 or more during free shipping, which was last week, Monday through Wednesday. And lo and behold, after free shipping ends, I always think, gosh, I should have ordered this. Oh, I should have ordered that. And oh man, I should have got that. And now I'm wishing there was free shipping again. Hi, Pat. And so, oh, that's how it goes, though. And some of us, I had a couple people reach out to me that said they missed it completely, that they always wait for free shipping, and that's when they get their things, and they missed it. And that's how it goes. So sad face on that. But we'll do a drawing for somebody to win a stamp set. I have a couple new stamp sets out of the new mini catalog, and we will give one of those away as a prize. So wonderful. And we had last week, Thursday, Kelly did the kit class for you guys. And I'll just share with you, in case you missed her class, which was on Thursday, she put together these little cherry blossom boxes. So you can watch how she did it. This is one of the new kits that's available in the online store. Every month they come out with new kits. And this month there was 2 of them. This was Cherry Blossom treat boxes. A lot of people said they're smaller than what they thought, and they are about 2 by 2. So in case you're wondering, they are adorable. And so that was one of the kits that she put together for you guys. And the other one, a lot of people have been loving on this, the perpetual calendar. Came with some stamps with all the months. And then how it is, it's a book. And when you open it up, so like my birthday's January 1st. So I'd write my name here. And my grandpa's birthday was the 15th. So if there are other January birthdays or anniversaries or milestones that are always the same, then you would put them on here. And so this goes all the way back to the end, which is December. And the little bit of stamping is to stamp the month. And you get, there's stickers in here. And so I had my open house yesterday and 3 people wanted this. So it's always more enjoyable to see it made. And what happens is there's a little hanger right in the middle here. So this, it's probably needing a little bit of help. I had it down. There's a hook here. There it is. And you can hang this wherever you do your cards. And you can always keep it open to the month that you're currently on. And it'll help you stay organized with your card making, or I should say your card sending. And so this is the Perpetual Beauty Calendar. And that is what Kelly put together. So again, you can always watch Kelly do the class, see if you like it. It's one of those try before you buy type things. And I'm very excited. I got my official copy printed of my calendar, you guys. It's so exciting. Okay, gotta have purple on here, a lot of it. So purple's my color, in case you guys are wondering. Gina's orange, Julie's green, Kelly's red, Diane's blue, and Rose Coleman in Canada. We put a little flag next to her name. So in case you're in Canada and you'd like to get some awesome card classes, you can see Rose does the ones that are the Technique Club class, and she also does the Sweet class with me. She kits those up. So I got mine printed. There's a QR code there as well, in case you want to go to my actual events calendar on my website. But I printed them not back to back, and I'm going to put these into page protectors and put them in with my class sign-up sheets so that I have my calendar readily available. So, guys, this is out there now. If you printed it off way back when I first sent the original email, we had Julie Bierschbach's phone number wrong. So if you printed it off and it says 843, just cross off the 3 and put a 9. So in case you want to get Julie's classes. So this is super exciting. This is out there. It's 12 pages and it goes all the way through December. Now, it's only as good as the day that we made it, which was last week. And I have to say that if we have to change anything, it gets changed, right? I am not going to be every time updating this. So just always know that you can scan that QR code and or go to my website, cardsbychrisb.com and /events. And that's always where the most up-to-date is. But we thought this would be a great reference tool for you guys. It doesn't change a lot, but I do have things come up in my life that I have to adjust classes. So, all right, then the other thing too, for those of you that want this document, this was updated. It's as of last week, I think the 10th or the 11th. But you can always print this. It's 2 pages for me, two front and back, which is 4. And then Gina's got a page on here for her classes. So it's another way to visually see this in a different form. So if you like the monthly classes in person with me at 1 or 6, these are all of them for the year. So it's a different way to see it. All right. So you guys, those documents are out there. Angelique says, I ran out of ink. Oh no, you can't wait to print yours. It did use a little bit of ink. All right. So, and I know you guys like to see things hot off the press. So Diane was over this morning. We got 2 cards fully designed. One is in the middle. We got halfway through it, so it's still sitting up on the desk. And I want to show you what we have so far. The Winter Creative Escape is coming up next month. It is an event that we host here in the Hive in person or virtually if you want to get a box full of goodies and make and takes. It features everything new out of the mini catalog, the spring mini catalog. It features things out of the sale-a-bration catalog, and there's a whole bunch of new online exclusives that are launching. And so we're making the projects and the goodie bag to kind of commingle everything. And there's 9 cards that are part of the make and take, and we got 4 total done. I showed 2 off last week, and I'm going to show off 2 more now. So in case you missed it last week, you can see all 4. And our goal is on Wednesday to finish the other 5. once all of the 9 are done, I'm going to do a special ad hoc video that talks about what the Winter Creative Escape is, showing off all the projects, kind of walking through with the goodie bag, so you kind of know what you get before you sign up, so you can decide if you want to do it or not. I will say that it's for demonstrators, discount shoppers, and hobbyists, but I generally do open it up because I plan for 120. And if it gets to be beforehand, like it's already, I had a few people that usually have taken the event but are no longer demonstrators and they didn't want to miss it. So we've already said, yep, that's fine. You guys can, it's good. Like the more the merrier. And just knowing with the understanding that it's all stuff out of the new catalog and the online exclusives. So what was I going to say? I'll do a separate video for that when the time comes. Unless it correlates and aligns with when I do my showcase. People have been asking me, when am I going to do the next showcase? When am I doing the January showcase? You guys, I can't do a showcase until all the cards are designed. And I don't know when all the cards are going to be designed. I have a goal. I mentioned I'd love for them to be done by Thursday. If that really does happen and I can pull a showcase together on Friday, I'll do that. If I can't and the showcase needs to be, let's say, Monday morning, I'm going to do it Monday morning. I have family Christmas with my immediate family for lunch on Monday. So I definitely want to try to have it done first thing Monday morning or even possibly Sunday. And then I have my dad's Christmas Tuesday. And so I need to have it done before I leave to go to my parents on Monday. Otherwise, it's not going to be until the end of the week. So it's definitely going to happen by Monday morning, but probably before that. And as soon as I have a day and time set, you guys, I'll email about it. So if you don't get emails from me, make sure you're signed up to get emails from me. I also create a Facebook event. So if you're not on my Facebook page, make sure you like and subscribe to my Facebook page. And I also create an event on YouTube for it. And I send an email. So it's always out there. When I know the day and time, I try to make sure everybody sees that. So in case you want to watch it live. So I'll show you guys. I'm going to drop down and show you so far what we have for the escape. Now, people are either loving or hating I call it the Crab Louie set. Either loving or hating. Now, we designed this card so that you can easily reproduce it. All you need is a sentiment. You're going to get to use the designer series paper for your lobster and your crab so that you don't have to buy the stamp set. You don't have to buy the dies. You can fussy cut that out. And just know that there are sometimes you like to make something, but maybe you don't want to own the stamp set or the dies. So we definitely went that route with this card so that it would be if you have a friend that loves the ocean and anything nautical, great for the friend. Or if you have a small child, I think this would make a great birthday card. And you could always swap out the sentiment and put happy birthday. Make a great kid's birthday card. And then all we did is we stamped the Crab Louie on the inside. And so yes, so I hope you guys will love that one. Then for the birthday, there's a celebration birthday set. We did a card and it says 1. And we kind of made it to appeal to a baby's first birthday. And you don't need stamps per se. And I think we might just add one more sentiment on the outside here. We were on the fence about this. We got the core of this card done. And you don't need to have sentiments for this one, except for on the inside and something with like a flower or a focal image. But I feel like we're going to add one more thing down here that maybe has a sentiment, like a little spot for a sentiment strip. But we have that for a first birthday, right? Because you've got grandkids that are coming. You might have friends that have children. If you don't like the 1 and you would like to stamp a sentiment directly on this banner, you could also do that. So you could completely switch up the sentiment and not make it a little girl's birthday card, first birthday card. You could make it a feminine birthday card by adding a sentiment there. So possibilities with that one as well. Hi, Sherry Everett. And last week I showed these off. This is the toadstool set. And we definitely went for fun mushroom card here, popping up to say hi. And then this one is your shaker card featuring beautiful bokeh. And with this one, we have a sentiment stamped in Versamark with white embossing powder. And this one, the sentiment here, you need some sort of grass stamp, and then we sponged balmy blue, and then the mushrooms are stamped. But it'd be a great start card. And then if you don't have the mushrooms, you could always improvise. You guys are getting really, really amazingly good at improvising and using the stamps you have. If you don't have the mushrooms, using something else instead of it. So these are the start of the Winter Creative Escape cards, you guys. I'm so excited. We have 5 more that we're going to be working on Wednesday. All right. So the cards we're working on today, though, feature Poised Peony. And I might have said Prized Peony along the way. There used to be a Prized Peony set. This one is Poised Peony. So if you don't have this specific stamp set for this class, that's okay, you guys. You have blank palettes here, and you could use different sets. And I love for you to tell me if you're not using the Poised Peony, what else are you using? Tell me what you're using, and especially if people have gotten this class and they don't have a stamp set that they're working with, that will help give them ideas so they could pull a specific stamp set they might have, the same one that you're using. So I have here a roll call though, and we have quite a few card kits left for this class. We planned for 60, like we generally do for the Let's Just Stamp, but I think because December is a very busy time of month for people, they might not have signed up for the class. So we have about 20 spots left for this class. So if you're watching the video tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, definitely check my past classes list on my website and see if this one's here. It's called Poised Peony. I'll share with you where you can find it when I drop the camera back down, but I want to do roll call really quick. I want to say thank you to everybody who got kits for this class from me. I genuinely appreciate your support of my small business, getting kits from me. I like to say thank you by calling out your name, and then also it gives me the opportunity that if I didn't call your name and you thought you signed up for this class, reach out to me right away so I can make sure I can get you a set of the cards. And by this one, there's not a problem because there's so many left over. But just in case it does happen, you guys, I am human, and there's a lot going on all the time. So I do miss things from time to time. And I don't deny that I do that. And so it happens. All right. So first on our list, Miss Julie Bierschbach, Angelique McClendon, Lisa LaFramboise, Donna Grushke, Brenda Cottrell, Sandy Wicklander, Nedra Dover, Kathy Dolly Nagari, Annette Rollin, Sherry Everett, Karen Wetstein, Vera Anderson. If you guys are here watching, you can call out that you're here too. Vera Anderson, Sandy Coy Emery, Rose Garibaldi, Feline Mays, Jean Terwilliger, Mary Lemke, Karen Woods, Susan Bellamy, Patty Wright, Mary Carls, Jeannie Gertis, Laura Sullivan, Leslie McMinn, Julie Bontranger. Yay, Julie. This might be your very first class that I got to say your name out loud. Because I know you got some past classes, but if it's your second class, that could be it too, though. But yay to Julie. Debbie Gast, Susie Fentlater, and this is one of Susie's first classes as well. Sharon Perellas. I always say her name long, so Sharon, if you're watching, I apologize. I always pronunciate it wrong. Hope Toy and Mary Novak. Yay. Okay, so at the end of class, I had 3 of you that placed orders to get your class for free, and I will do a drawing to figure out which one of you wins a door prize from me. Hello, Sherry Johnson. Glad that you could make it today. You guys, I have to keep very good tabs on my Sherry Johnsons. We have 2 Sherry Johnsons, and I know now that I am keeping them very straight. And we also have 2 Pat Thomases, you guys. So I have to learn to keep people separate. Like in my head, I have to separate. Got to keep them separated, right? All right, so let's flip or silkskin the camera down. And I have here, you guys, I like to share off, like this is what I got my team for. I put them out in the Christmas cards or if they came in person, but I got my magnets and my little bumper stickers. So I got my little bees that are helping us out today. All right, so these are the 3 cards we're going to make today. And we have Poised Peony. Oh, and Mary's here too. All right, Poised Peony is what we're using. I've got all my stamps pretty much on block sitting off to the side. We use a few ink colors, Peacock, Berry Burst, Gray Granite, Smoky Slate, and then I think that there's some inks that we're going to pull, which are Blackberry Bliss and Peacock for coloring. We do use some colored pencils. So this one, you're going to have to figure out what you like to color with. Yes, Sherry Johnson watching right now is the one for Bemidji. I was going to guess that Sherry Johnson. And I wonder if the other Sherry Johnson watches too. And I wonder if she goes by Sherry Johnson. So you guys are going to keep me on my toes. So for those of you that got kits from me, you have something that looks like this. There's a little golden ticket, which has your name on it, not me. But I wrote these out to myself, so I put me. And then it has the name, Poised Peony, and it has the date. Today's date is 12/16. So for those of you who are watching later in life and wondering if we have kits available, if you go to my events calendar, actually it's not the event, if you go to the resources tab, and down underneath all the links at the top, this is where it has past available classes. And generally, if the class is listed here, then the class is available. If you go down to 3-card classes, I already have it here. Oh, I forgot to put the word LJS in front of it, or the letters. So it's actually, oops, right here, Poised Peony. And it takes you right into it so you can read all the details. So if you generally see it there, it's generally available. And then the other thing here I have is you can catch the replay for this class on YouTube by clicking here. So if you have the date from my events, oops, join my team. If you have the date from the events calendar, so today's the 16th, you can generally click on this and it'll take you right to the YouTube video so that you can easily find it. There it is. So you can read all the details. So if you generally see it. Let's get rid of that. I don't need to hear myself talk. All right. So you have your golden ticket. That's your cue for the class. And then what we're going to do is we'll start with this Blackberry Bliss. If I have a Post-it note on here, it means that when the girls are kidding up, there's something that might not be 100% absolutely correct. And so we'll find that out when we get going. But we're going to start with this one. For now, I do have in the description for this class a link here. So if you go to show more, there's a link here that says Let's Just Stamp featuring, and that will take you into another YouTube video. That is the very first ink, paper, scissors that I ever did. Let's Just Stamp, you guys. I say them backwards sometimes. The first Let's Just Stamp I've ever done. And it goes into detail on what do you need if you are first starting off with becoming a stamper. Like what kind of, there's 5 main things that you need: paper, adhesives, cutting tools, inks, and stamps, right? Those general 5 things, and it talks about that. So you could definitely go back and catch that first video. I don't like to reinvent the wheel with it because that video is out there and you can easily catch that and watch that on replay. Better late than never. Yay, Debbie Gass, so glad you're here. Blackberry Bliss, a little bit of peacock here, and that's with that So Swirly embossing folder. Let's lay out our pieces. We have a piece of this gold thread, you guys. Oh, we made the executive decision that day to not make everybody's bows for them. I think we were in a little bit of a hurry, and we thought this would be a great learning experience to show you how to make a bow. So you do have 10 inches of that. You have 3 gold gems. Hi, Doris Munson, joining late. Welcome home. I think you got home last night from your sons. We have a little piece here for the sentiment. And then these 3 layer together: a white, a peacock, and a Blackberry Bliss. And that's where the flower gets stamped on. You should have 2 pieces of gold foil, and they are for the top and the bottom of the designer paper. Now, the designer paper that we use for this class is all from the Otters set. There's Otters Designer Series paper. So we use 3 pieces for this class. And then the other 3 patterns are going to get used for, I believe, the February Let's Just Stamp. So we're going to end up gluing those on. Now, I know why I got this kit. My mom accidentally cut, I might have gotten the end of the roll, so she gave me this. And so I told her I would be able to work with you guys and show you how I would utilize this ribbon, because it's technically not long enough. All of you guys got 6 inches in your kit, which is enough to go behind, but I didn't want to cut more ribbon, so I'm going to show you how I would use 5 inches. And then we have double matting for the inside. We have a white, and then we have the peacock. Hi, Suzanne Deppis. No worries. Hi, Sherry Ott. So we have a piece of white and then a mat of peacock. So what we can do first is get a little stamping done, and then we'll be able to assemble. So this peacock ink is what we use for our sentiment, and this sentiment is hello, hello, hello. And if you want to practice first, make sure to go ahead and do that. And if you are good to go for it, all you got to do is stamp hello. You're going to keep it closer to the right-hand side because part of it does get tucked underneath. So that's our hello. You called. Is it me you're looking for? You know, a little bit of Adele. And then what you can do is stamp a little flower on the bottom right-hand corner, or wherever you like to stamp focal images. But we don't want a naked inside. So because it's hello, though, you could stamp whatever you want on the inside. I'm going to leave it blank because whoever wins this card can stamp a sentiment if they need one. Then we have one more thing to stamp on our white piece here. You're going to stamp the smaller flower. So in the set, there's actually 3. There's the smallest, the small, and then I guess a big one. And it's the middle one. So we've got the middle flower here. And I'm going to ink that up and stamp that right kind of near the center. Good. And if you want to move it, you can always flip it over and stamp along the back or stamp on the other side. And we get to do a little bit of coloring with this. So I grabbed a couple little blocks and I just shut the peacock ink. But what you can do is you can take a block and dip some ink in it. Now I don't like to dip directly into the ink pad. So what I do is I put a little ink on a block, and we have what is called a blender pen. And these come in a pack of 3. And what you're gonna use is the blender pen for coloring. I would have a little scratch paper over here. And what you're gonna do is when you use the blender pen for coloring, it starts off really strong and then the ink fades away. So there's a solution in here, and it's not water. It's a certain kind of solution. I honestly don't know what it is, but when you start to color, it starts up strong and then it disappears. And what you want to do is pick up a little ink, and you want to color your leaves. So I really, really wish that there was a blend, a Stampin' Blend, which is the alcohol-based markers. I wish that there was a peacock. That would be awesome, but there isn't. So when you want to color things in with peacock, this is by far the best, I guess one of the best ways to do it. I don't know. You could use a Stella pen as well and dip your Stella pen into that ink pile here, but you definitely want to color that. Now, if you are so inclined to want to color over here, you could do that too. Your leaves on the inside, give them a little bit of a zhuzhin up here. All right, so that's what I would do for the peacock. You have to, when you're done, you have to wipe the ink out of your blender pen. Otherwise, the next color that you go to get is going to have peacock in it. We are going to need this later, so I'm going to just set that off to the side. So this other color now that we used is blackberry, and there is a blackberry blend. So you could technically use a blackberry blend to color this, but it's going to give you different kind of coloring. It's going to be more solid. So I am going to go with the same route for coloring. I'm going to use my blender pen, and I'm going to dip into here. And I might just start with the little guy. So again, it's going to start out sharp, and then you want to be very careful going over lines because it will make the ink bleed. So that we stamped it originally in peacock. If you go over the peacock way too much, it's going to cause it to bleed. All right, so I've got a little bit of the flower colored here. I'm going to do a little bit more right there. Okay, so that's that. Now, this is important though, because it's hard to get it to look just right. And to me, that looks a little bit scrappy, but sometimes the flowers have variegation to them. So when you go into here, you start off really strong. So where it's strong, you might start along the edge because then you can do shading. And then you always got to go back, and I'm always afraid to go first onto the image. So I kind of wipe out a little bit, and yes, that wipes out a little bit of ink, but I'd rather have it be sharp over there than sharp here, not where I want it. And with this, you can go over it, so you can see if you get a little bit light, you could go over and add some more color to it. So I'm going here until the marker runs out, but it's almost a little too light. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little more. So that got light on me. So I can, very carefully, you don't want to keep going over the same spot a lot, but you could go over it to darken it up. Hello, Kari Dwyer. And if you like a little bit of light and darkness, you can make that happen really easily with a blender pen here. So you can get a lot of variegated two-tone going on. Now be very careful, excuse me, going over the same area a lot because it will add moisture to your cardstock. And the more you do that, the more pilling you might get later on. So I generally stick to one level and then potentially a second level. And if it's light in spots, you can go and cover it up. And I'm trying very hard not to hit the peacock area because if you do, it could potentially make the peacock bleed. If you do go over it, go very, like I'm going quickly over it and not putting a lot of pressure when I go over it. All right, so you can see I've got a little bit of dark there, dark over here, and then it's light through there. Now, if that's something that you're not the biggest fan of, pick the spots that you want to go back over and you can darken certain areas. So up here, if I want to make that dark, I'm going to start over here. There it is. And like that one over there seems like it could have a little bit more. If you have a marker tip that is not the best marker tip, you definitely want to not use it. There. So I'm okay with this. Hi, Sandy. Thank you so much. So make sure you wipe this out. Hi, Jean Turbo. You're coming in late. You got a work meeting. So, Jean, I did read your email about flights, your flight being canceled for Onstage, and that you got a new flight. And it's so awesome that you're going to be able to fly out of a smaller regional airport. That is amazing. I do like that a lot. If that happens to us too, so ours is flying out of Milwaukee at the moment. But if they tell us, oh, you got to go out of Appleton, I'd be like, okay, I don't mind that at all. So if we can make that happen. So yes, I got your message. Definitely no problem. We don't really have an official team dinner on Thursday night. Our official team dinner, you mentioned it being Thursday. It's not actually Thursday. It's on Saturday night. So I know that we want to get together because we have our crazy sunglass thing that we're doing. Everybody's hopefully going to get cool sunglasses, and we do a sunglass exchange. And then hopefully we'll be able to wear these awesome sunglasses throughout the whole weekend. And so that we want to do that exchange Thursday, but you'll be in by then. So that'll be cool. All right, you guys, I'm going to, so this is foil, and it's going to go on the top and the bottom of the Otters Designer Series paper. And instead of using liquid glue, I am going to use tear and tape. And so Barbara Godby made the comment to me recently. She's like, how do you know how much to use? Every time you rip something or cut something, it always ends up being just perfect. So like I actually, when I opened this up, I kind of eyeballed it, and that's how I did that. So we're going to pick that one off. And with this, hi Karen Wetstein, I have a little divot here that I can see it on mine. I'm going to make sure that that goes to the inside and gets covered up. And that's right. And so we're going to capture the gold foil, and I'm going to try to keep it the same all the way down. And that'll get picked up with the tear and tape. And then let's do the same on this side. And this side I have it flush. This side, my designer paper is a hair longer. So I'm going to make sure I get the bottom side here. So that's flush. You can have as more or less gold showing, however you want. But I have a little bit that I'm going to cut off here. So let me grab my cutter really quick. It's not much. You guys probably came in from the camera. Okay, the sunglasses thing is what I was remembering. And I've been hunting for the perfect pair. I love it, you guys. That's so awesome. And yes, we're going to do that Thursday, but we'll wait to do that till like closer to 7:30 or 8 so that you're in. And I know somebody else is coming. I think Michelle Cinto, if she's watching, I think she was coming in later too. All right. So we've got our gold to the top and the bottom, and I will tell you that the peacock ribbon was an afterthought on this, and I had to lift up the sides and squish it in there. So we're going to not do that this time. We're going to put it right down where it belongs. Hi, Polly Libby. Polly, you asked me via email for swap card numbers, and I don't have them yet. People had through basically through Friday or Saturday to get registered. Oh, because I have a short piece, you guys, I actually need to cut in the middle. So let's just attach on this side a little bit and get that secure. So Polly, I will be working on the swap numbers momentarily. It's not going to be in the next 12 hours. It'll probably be by tomorrow. I'll try to get swap numbers out to everybody who's participating in the swaps for the escape. So just give me a moment in time to figure that out yet. All right, so then this guy is going to go right about here. So what I'm going to do is cut my ribbon right about there. And then here's the trick though. So you have to keep it pretty lined up. And I'm going to put a piece of tape right here. Now this is what I don't recommend doing. It would be so much easier to have had the right length, but I didn't have the right length. I had too little, and that's okay. I can make it work. So I'm going to show you here how we're going to do this. So I'm going to make sure I have the same on the bottom. So if you get to the end of your roll of ribbon and you'd like to use it, but it's not enough for what you're making, consider cutting it like this so that it would work. And now I'm just going to eyeball to make sure that we're pretty even. No one will ever know that I've got all this makeshift taping behind here when I get an extra piece. Now these get picked off. And then we're going to glue this down onto our Peacock So Swirly mat. Pick which side you like up. There, it's like a horse apiece. And I do have this in the center, so it is top to bottom. Now, normally I would not have put this ribbon behind this layer. I just realized now, I normally would have put this ribbon behind this layer. So don't ask me why I did that. I really don't generally do that. I like for the ribbon to be on the bottommost layer. Now this worked, it's fine. It's it's fine, right? It's not the best option for me, but it's fine, it works. But I normally would have glued this designer paper and gold down, and then I would have put my ribbon behind here. But that's okay, it's all done now. So no harm, no foul, it all worked. You betcha, Polly. Definitely just give me some time. I gotta pull all of the registrations from the Google Forms, and then I need to compile it, and then I'll send an email out to everybody who registered, and then include the swap numbers. All right, so that means that if somebody hasn't signed up yet and they want to do the swapping, you have some hours left to get signed up for the swapping. All right, so there's what we have for this. Now this I popped up with some dimensionals. If you have black dimensionals, that would work good too, because it's a little bit darker of cardstock, and they'll blend in really good. So this peacock did get popped up. Now for those of you who took the class with me, Jolene is slowly getting caught back up after her crazy migraine weekend and going to the hospital last week. And she got this tutorial out to us last night, and we got it proofread. Karen did find, I proofread it once, and then after that, Karen found another thing that needs to get updated. So I will be sharing a new file with you guys when I get done with class. So that was popped up, and now this is going to be flat. And I'm actually going to use that tear and tape. And we might as well, you could do liquid glue or tear and tape, but I'm going to just run tear and tape across like this. And you got to get it to stick. And if any of it goes over, you can just roll it back. And we're going to go like this and this. Are you guys all done with your Christmas cards? Are they all ready for the mail, or are they in the mail already? This is centered. I got the same amount of area here and here. And I got to save a little room for my gems over here. And I'm just going to gently set that right there. And then this hello, hello, hello is going to go in here. Now, got it kind of so that you can see the ribbon. And I'm hitting a dimensional. So what does that mean? That means either I can pick this up and slide it in there, or I can take my scissors and trim off a bit here. I left it longer for you guys in case you wanted to use a little bit longer of a sentiment and have it come out further. But I'm going to leave it like that. And now I'm okay for tucking. And because I have ribbon there that it's hanging out over the top of, I'm going to use tear and tape on this one too. Oh, Polly said her Christmas cards have gone out last week. Good job. Mine are sitting here. I'm going to the post office as soon as I get done here. I've got a few shipments that I need to prepare, and then I'm taking all of my Christmas cards to the post office. I have a whole pile over there. So we have a big gold gem and then a small one that'll go next to it. And then we have the medium one. And I'm going to put it over here. I put it up there on that one, but it looks nice there. So it's all fine and dandy, but we need to add the bow there. So this is where the bow maker comes in handy. Mary said most of hers are mailed, about 5 to go. Okay, that's good too. I think they're, I have, so all my Cards by Christine ones are out. I have about 50 more to do for friends and family. All right, I'm going to make a double bow. You guys, I did a video on how to use a bow maker back in February of like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 2021. And it's out there in case you want to watch it. What I did is I'm going to do 2 bunny ears, and I'm wrapping around twice here. I have these bow makers available for sale. My person who I used to babysit his kids, he makes them for me now, and I have them available. I have 2 left, and now he's bringing me a whole nother Sir, please bring me another supply of them. And what you can do is trim your tails. And then this comes off the nails. You guys, I would not make bows if I didn't have a bow maker. What's really nice is they go on the side then, like that. And now you have this cutesy patootsy little baby double bow. And we're going to put that on with a glue dot. It is classy. Yes, this is a very pretty card. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Blackberry Bliss and Pretty Peacock are two great colors that go together very nicely. And by adding that little baby bow right to the middle of the flower stem, it just does it. And then you can always trim if you think your tails are a little too long. Now, what do you want to Stella? If you want to Stella anything, you're the only one that has received a card so far this year. I need to get going. Yeah, Connie, I got your Christmas card last week. So thank you for sending that out to me. And it was such a pretty one. All right, so I'm going to take Stella and go around the edges of the peacock here. So Stella pen is a glitter pen, but it's controlled glitter, so you don't have to cut your arms and legs off when you use it. It's controlled. It doesn't flake off and get you all full of glitter. Susan said her cards were sent out. Great. Sherry said mailed out 60, have 50, 35 to hand out at church. Good, good. You guys are good. I'm liking it. All right, so we got one card done, and I didn't hear many other options for stamp sets, but just know that if you got this class for me and you don't have Poised Peony, you have a whole, like a white rectangle here that you could put anything on. Very versatile. All right, so there's our first card for today. Yay. Let's see what the next one is. It's Berry Burst. Okay, let's do the other one here. This is the other one that is Blackberry. I think that'll be good because we can use the ink then. So our next one looks like this, and it uses the bigger flower. It's bigger like Tigger. And we don't cut hot dog style cards very often, but we did for this one. It made sense. So you have fresh freesia for your inside. You have a white inside. You have 4 inches of ribbon. That's the blackberry with the gold. It's on the last chance list. So pick some up if you want it. It's, I believe, on sale. And then you can burnish your edge. And what I mean by hot dog style is that it opens like this and looks more like a hot dog, where the last card and a lot of the other cards that we do, they look like hamburgers, okay? All right, so this one's gonna open like this. And then you also have a piece of gold that goes across the back like that. The piece of blackberry that goes across the middle. This middle is painted textures, which is on the last chance list, sadly, as well. And then you have, oh, marigold. Oh, Sherry Martin says she's using the marigold. Very nice. Then you have this white piece, which is for stamping on. This is for your sentiment. And then you have 2 pieces of the otter paper. Yay! And then if you really want, you could figure out a way to use the otters. So what we could do first is, let's get our stamping done. And so we used gray granite, and we made this one into a sympathy card. It says, you're in my thoughts. Well, it doesn't have to be a sympathy card, but it would make a really pretty sympathy card. It says, in my thoughts, and we're going to stamp. Oh, you guys, I never glued the inside in of the last card. One moment, please. Talk about forgetting the boat or missing the boat on that one. Okay, so we're just going to pause and fix. Hang on, I got the card right here. Let's glue our peacock. So when we do Let's Just Stamp, I teach this class with Diane. Diane does the in-person version. We design the cards together, and then I do the online version with you guys. And so Diane loves to double mat. So it's a deal I made with her that when we do ink, paper, scissors, and Let's Just Stamp, those cards are always double matted. It just makes it look so much prettier on the inside that the colors match. Okay, now I can say that we're done with that card. Carissa loves the otters. Yay, she sure does. If you guys are doing the Winter Creative Escape with me, you will know that Carissa picked the otters. And Carissa is going to be doing an entire display for you guys to have lots of ideas about the otters. Hi, Linda from British Columbia, Canada. So we've got the gray granite going on here. And we're going to stamp the flower. right about here. And we have the little flower, which will go on the inside again. So I'm going to take a moment, let that marinate, and we can stamp off to get some ink off of here. Get that peacock off of there, and then I might as well take this guy, get that hello cleaned up. Okay, and then back to our flower. Right, so this guy can be done. Good. So we did that in the gray granite, and then our flower here for the inside can also be in gray granite. And then our sentiment will be in the Blackberry Bliss. Oh, Angelique can't wait to see Carissa's otter display. Yes, it's going to be so good. So good. All right, I'm looking at my piece here, and I am noticing that it's kind of cut at an angle. So the top looks straight, but then I have a little. If that, you guys ever see stuff like that, we don't intend for that to happen. If it happens, though, just remember we are human. We do a lot of things by hand, and all you would need to do is take your scissors, or your trimmers, and you can see that it trimmed off the top, but it didn't have anything on the bottom. And you can shore up your pieces, you guys. Karen Westside does the best. And Karen Westside, you guys, is amazing. She cuts all the designer paper. She cut a lot of these little strips for me on these classes. And so it's a lot when you're doing 60 and you have like 10 different things to cut. So no, we try our best to make sure everything is straight. But if it's not, for any reason, you can help us out and shore it up yourself. And, and that will help us to make sure you guys have the best cards possible. And my helpers don't always catch that either. When they're laying out things, my mom will be the first to admit she's not a stamper. She comes here to help me and spend time with me, and she enjoys the camaraderie of the girls that are helping, but she has no eye for anything. She's like, so I'd say, Mom, watch for this and watch for that and watch for that. And she's happy to lay pieces out for us. So we try. All right. So I stamped that. It was a little higher than I wanted. So I'm going to flip this over and I'll bring it down a hair and see if I can get that closer to the bottom. And I think that's it for the stamping. But we are going to need to do some coloring. Now this flower takes a little bit more coloring. Oh, okay, that's wonderful. It's going to take a little bit more coloring than the last one. And I would use your blender pen again. And you have here, let's grab the piece of paper back. And we've got our blocks here that we've already got some ink in. And with this one, you want to be careful not to pull up too much of the gray granite. And the same thing is going to happen. It's going to start out darker, and then you're going to lose the ink as you go. Oh, Sharon is watching. Yay, she does rock. My mom is amazing. My dad was here yesterday, and Mom. They went to go see a show called The Night of Silence, I think is what the name is. That is on here in Fond du Lac, and I think the school puts it on. And they came in afterwards, or they came over by me afterwards, and they helped me finish stuffing the rest of my Christmas cards. And so my dad sat down and he had the schedules, and my dad was quartering all my schedules, and my mom was putting them in. And Bigger Tigger, who had been sleeping this whole time, he gets up and he proceeds to lay right on top of all of the schedules, right where my dad's grabbing them from. And he just was like, move, I'm trying to grab schedules. And it was really funny. I had to pick up Tigger. He just likes to be the center of attention. If you're not giving him enough attention, he'll make sure he gets it. And it was just funny. His body just covered up all of the schedules. It was just really great. So you can see there, that got a little dark on me. I don't know if you guys can see that. That right there got a little dark. And what you can do, just go right next to it, and not grabbing Barry. We want that one. Okay, so you can go right next to it and then darken up next to it, and that works. All right, just a few more leaves here. And you have to be careful. If your blender pen is too dry, it's not going to work so good. Or if the tip of the marker isn't good, it won't ink up nicely either. And somehow I got some ink right there, I'm seeing. And I got just a couple more leaves here. Oh, that'll be perfect. Can you guys see right here I've got ink? That's going to be right where I put a gem. So it'll be perfect. I could try to use my ink eraser and make it disappear, but I think I'll just put a gem there. That's what gems are for. All right, so that's what I've got for coloring. Now, if you guys want to, there is no peacock on this card. Peacock looked nice with it, but if you want to use a different color, you could have gone with a different color green and not having to use, you could have used a Stampin' Blend as well. All right, now the blackberry again. So let's zoom in again so you guys can watch how the blackberry will work. Now this one's gonna be a lot harder. So you have a lot bigger, more open area, and you just wanna make sure that you don't get the streakies. I'm noticing that this marker tip started to show lines. Okay, so if that happens and you don't want it to do that, flip over and try the other side of your marker. I'm gonna give that a moment to dry, and then I'm gonna try to come back to it and spread it out a little bit better. But you can't keep going over the same spot in the same spot, otherwise it will get, the paper will get warpy. That is a word, I guess. All right, so this is going to take a little bit more finagling to get this. And you're going to get that ombre look naturally because of how the marker works, where it's going to be darker and lighter. But we can come back at the end and always fill in spots if we want to. All right, so, and if you know how a flower sometimes has darker on the edges or in the middle, however you want to see it look. And again, if you're going over the gray, be very careful to not keep hovering over it. This will probably be the hardest one. Don't pick on your mom. She may not be a stamper, but she sure is a great cook, friend, mom, and all-around great person. Hope Dad is doing better. You know, I wasn't picking on her. I was just explaining to you guys why you might have a piece of paper that isn't quite right. And she does care, and she wants things to be right. She just doesn't have the eye for it. Like if Rhonda or Annette or a Diana are kidding up, they might see, like if a die cut is die cut and it's missing a little edge of it. My mom might not be the one to pick that up, but Annette and the other girls would potentially see that. Well, they would. So, yeah. So no, Mom is amazing. Dad is doing better. He said that he's not any worse and he's not any better. He's right in the middle. So hopefully with time he starts to feel better and better. So, all right. So my flower is looking a little scrappy to me, right? And I was waiting to do this big chunk for last, so I got a feel for how this brush was working. So we're going to go really lightly and create the pink base here. This is where Stampin' Blends would come in really handy because they don't give you the lines like this. Okay. You're probably like, wow, that looks like a big blob. Okay, kind of. I'm seeing it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if a little bit of water, because I have water in my pens here, my aqua painters. I'm going to drop 2 drops of water on here. Now you got to be so careful because this is not watercolor paper by any means, but I'm going to add a little bit of water to this block to help mellow out there. And now I'm going to try to go over. You have to be very careful. If you add water, it's going to not work so good if you add a lot because it's not watercolor paper. But I'm just trying to smooth out my lines a little bit here. There's that. I'm going to do a little bit more up here. There are blends that are in Blackberry Bliss. So if you guys have the Blackberry blends, you could go ahead and use them for the coloring on this. But adding a little bit of water helped to like make it less streaky, I think. The other thing too you could do is go the opposite direction with it. Like that one looks good. But if you go a left, right, and then you could go north, south. And that will help fade those lines. Okay, coloring 101. And we'll do a little bit more over there. So I think we've got our rose, or our peony, our peony good. Okay, so we got that done. I'm gonna wipe this marker out and then we'll go ahead and put this card together. So we need a little bit of tear and tape behind the In My Thoughts. And what we're gonna do is do a loop tail with it. Loop tail. And so we're gonna catch that tear and tape, make a shorter loop, bring it back, make a little bit longer loop, and then you should have enough to have a tail come out. And you're gonna wanna take tear and tape and secure the back of this so it doesn't wanna come apart later. And then that's ready. All right, so then gluing. We'll glue our little strips here. We'll put those down. And they're along the right and the left edge, and try to center them top to bottom. So I'm gonna take this first one, and it goes along that left side. And if you want to, grab your ruler out. You've got about 3/4, it's just under 3/4 of an inch, and that is at 3/4 of an inch. So then you can know if you need to move it. All right, and then this one, what you can do to make sure you have this level, you can take your ruler, and if you have it set up at a 90-degree angle, like it's flush on that side, you should have the right height then for that. And then what we did is we popped up this piece with dimensionals. So you could use 6 of them, like that. And then this is at 5 1/4 tall. So you'll have a small margin on the top and a small margin on the bottom. And then it's centered left to right. So nobody even knows, you don't even know that there is not any designer paper behind here. So look at that. A 1x4 is what we used. So instead of using a 4x4, we used a 1x4, and you have enough to do another card. Like so that middle is, you don't even know it's not back there, which is super cool. Then this, what I think I'll do is it's foil. I'm going to use tear and tape. When I use liquid glue with foil, sometimes it makes it bubbly. Now this is going to go in the center of this, and there's a little blackberry on the left and the right. I like that. Oh, I might have gone crooked with it, but it is what it is. Once you put that down, it's kind of like stuck. And then we're gonna put a little bit of glue. Yeah, using tear and tape, that's very permanent. You don't have a lot of wiggle room. So this will get centered. I'm centering it top to bottom, left to right. Get that in the right spot. And then this will get glued right in the middle. Now, you could have done the same thing with the gold. You could have just used a little 1/2 inch on each side, but we thought it'd be easier for you guys to glue it like that. So we left it like that. Now I'm gonna use some tear and tape, you guys. It's heavy on the tear and tape today. Just go like that. This row, the reason I used tear and tape is a rose, or if I call it a rose, I mean it's a peony. The flower is kind of damp yet. So if I would put liquid glue back here, it would make that even more damp. So that's why I opted to use the tear and tape. And then this gets centered top to bottom, left to right on here. And then this, you can use some dimensionals. We'll pop this up. And it goes on, if you like it. You guys, if you guys ever want to change anything up, I just show you how we made it. If you want to move things around, you're always welcome to do that. And then I have a ribbon scissors that's covered up. And I trim my tail. And I mentioned, because I have that ink on there, I'm going to put my big gem right there. And that'll cover it up good. And then we've got the little guy next to it. And then we'll put the medium one right there. And it says, In My Thoughts. And then what we did, we left it blank. So again, anybody can, it's for whatever reason, It could make a great sympathy card. It could be a birthday card because the person's in your thoughts for the birthday. It could be a thinking of you. It could be a hello, so you could stamp hello on the inside. We've got fresh freesia and white going on. So we got our double matte. So that can go in first. And then our flower can go next. All right, so could you Stella anything? You certainly can. And what could you do? I would definitely not Stella the flower. Oh, you guys, it's so funny. So I didn't realize it, but the gems are see-through. And through the gem, you can see the ink that's on the paper. I didn't know that, but you can. Okay. You could Stella your designer series or your embossed piece of freesia cardstock. That would be good. You could do your blackberry here, like that. All right. Who's calling? Is it dear? It is dear. Oh, man, you guys. I'll call you back. All right. He's on his lunch break. All right. That's what we've got for you. All right, that's card number 2. Then we had one more, and the next one, it also features the otters paper, which you guys would never realize that we did the otters paper on these cards because we used the back side of them. Okay, so you have a white envelope again, and what we have is Berry Burst with Balmy Blue. And you have the Balmy Blue variegated ribbon, which is on the clearance rack. It's still available. It's at a really reduced rate or price. So if you want some of this, you can still get it. I saw it was still there. And it was part of last year's mini catalog, I believe, spring mini catalog. So you can burnish your edge here. And then you have the 3 gems, are rhinestones. So those will go on at the end. And then you have your swirly Jane here. So swirly, with some designer paper. Now, this designer paper here, if you guys see in your kit, it's cut at 2 inches, all right? Per the instructions on the tutorial and also per the card sample, we really have 1.5, right? It is at 1.5. Your call what you want to do. Dear needs a December calendar. You know, Debbie, you're so funny. He came in here last week and he's like, how do I know when you're live and not live? And I'm like, well, just go to YouTube and go to my channel and it'll say live, right? And okay, so that was too much work for him to go to my channel. So you're right. I need to have this printed and he should put it in his truck or he should take a picture. I don't know. He could go to my website too and he could look it up. I don't know. But anyways, I thought that was a funny story too. So, all right, your call what you want to do. What you want to do, this goes here. If you leave it at 2 inches, it will look perfectly, amazingly fine, right? It's all good, right? You just see a little bit more designer series paper. And if you want it more like what's on the left, all you need to do is take your trimmer and cut a 1/2 inch off. So either way, it works. But if you're going to want to, so right now it's at 2 inches. If you want to make it at 1.5, which is what the instructions say, you could just trim your 1/2 inch off. And if you want to, you could put that on the inside, right, of your card. Okay, your call. I just cut mine because I want this to be what the tutorial has. And if you guys use this video as a reference tool, then it matches the tutorial and the sample card. No problem. All right, so I might as well glue this because I have it right in front of me. Oh, see, it's otter paper. Sorry, little dudes, we gotta cover you up. And that piece is on the left-hand side, and you wanna have the same margin on the top, the bottom, and the left. And then what we're gonna do, thanks Linda, thanks Suzanne, you're gonna grab 2 pieces of tear and tape waiting in the wings, and then you can put 2 on the back. I call this that tear and tape sandwich. And with the variegation, I put the blue on the right and the white on the left. So if you look at it, it's more white on one side, like ombre. And I want the blue 42 on the left. And what I did is I centered it so that the white, where the middle of the ribbon is kind of where the DSP middle is back behind. And because I know that tearing tape is back there, I can visually look at it from the front and get my ribbon straight as an arrow, and then flip it over, add those tearing tapes that are waiting in the wings, and then pop those off, and a little bit of glue wherever the tearing tape isn't, and that will go right on the card front. So that is staged and ready to go. If you didn't realize it, Berry Burst with Balmy Blue really does look nice together. All right, so that's staged and ready to go. So we made this into a birthday card, and then it says best birthday wishes. So let's get our stamping going on here. I think I'm going to use that little 1/2-inch strip on the inside here and not stamp the flower. How does that sound? I love that you used the Otter DSP to make these, right? I love it too that they actually, it was quite the challenge. Like when I first told Diane that I wanted to use the Otter paper for this class, she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we can do it. We can make it happen. So we have smoky slate now for this one is what we used. And when you flip, so if you thought, oh man, I don't like the Otter paper, I don't like otters, and that's okay. You always can like what you like and not like what you don't want to, right? It's all good. I won't tell Carissa that you don't like it and she won't be offended because she loves the otters, but it goes to show you that you can use the back side of paper and it can be very universal. Like you would never know that. You can make this blue look like it is here, just a pretty shaded background, or you can make it look like water. Oh, and that's the wrong color. I need to clean this really quick. Hang on. My happy birthday should be in Berry Burst, so we'll come back to that. The Country Birdhouse is where that happy birthday is coming from, in case you're wondering, but we need to stamp our flower. And so one moment, please. We have to clean. He had gray granite, or it had gray granite. It's a flower, and it had gray granite, and now it's going to have smoky slate. So that's Inky Dinky Doo. I love you. That can go right here. And then we don't need to stamp the flower on the inside. So this should be it for the gray. And then we'll bring in Berry Burst and have that ready. Oh, very nice. Okay, so we went for, I mean, you could have used a Memento black pad, but it would look very sharp. And so we opted to stamp some of these focal images in gray granite or smoky slate because it softens it quite a bit. And then now we have the happy birthday. Easy peasy to make. Yay. Yes. So Karen Wetstein was telling me that her favorite class out of all of our class series is Let's Just Stamp, which is super cool. I absolutely love that. So we have so many different class series between the monthly class, Let's Just Stamp, the sweet class, ink, paper, scissors, Rose's Technique Club class, and then we have fun fold classes. So there's a whole lot of different series of classes. And this one's Karen's favorite. I think my favorite is the ink, paper, scissors series. And then some of you really love the fun folds. I'm so excited. Angelique is working with me to get some amazing fun folds for you. The next fun folds class is coming up in early January. It's actually the catalog launch party, and it's a fun folds class. And she helped pick out all 4 of the fun folds. So it looks crooked, but I think it is okay. She helped me pick out all 4 of the fun folds, and now what we're doing is we're bringing in the sale-a-bration product to make those fun folds. Super cool. I should have those done tomorrow. And then we can share them with you. I'm going to trim the end here. I like doing angles like that. You could also have bannered it if you want. And then we could do a little gluing here. So let's flip this, Let's just do this by itself. We'll run a little glue down this strip of designer paper. And I think it goes end to end, so that's good. I like it. Little change of pace here to put a strip of designer paper in here, which is nice. So it allows you to utilize it. And then what we're going to do is glue this into the card base, which is over here now. And it ties the inside and the outside together. And that actually goes on here, which is the Balmy Blue mat. And then Yes, Angelica's excited for the Fun Folds class. Yay! So we're gonna put this down, and that goes in the middle. All right, so now we're back to coloring. So this is staged and ready to go. I think I'll use tear and tape. So this little silver was just to accent. We put it back here because it pulled in the gray from the smoky slate, and it also helped the sentiment strip stand out. By itself, the white blended in, and by putting it on the back here, it helped to accent it. So it's behind the birth, a duh. So find the B, and it goes to the D. We just have that like this, okay? And then what we can do is stage this with a couple dimensionals, few, like that. And then we could also, well, while I have the dimensionals here, this berry burst piece is gonna get popped up. So let's just get those guys, these guys on the back. So that's ready to go. And they can go away. And we're gonna color. So what did we use for coloring on this one? We had our fill of coloring with a blender pen. So what we did is we grabbed Melon Mambo and Old Olive, the olives that are old, and we used colored pencils. I do love coloring with colored pencils. You can get variation or variegation with colored pencils too. If you color lighter and darker, you get that. But I'm just, and having this glass mat under here is really great for coloring with colored pencils because it gives you a smooth surface underneath. Sometimes tables, if you use a folding table or your kitchen table for coloring as your base, there's little divots or there's lines or there's bumps, and that shows when you're coloring with colored pencils. So don't worry, you are gonna see some lines. In the most part, it's nice and smooth, but you are going to see some lines, and when we pull the blender pen back in, that helps to get rid of them. So I'm kind of scrappy with how I'm coloring here. So we got the Old Olive, and then it's the Melon Mambo. All right, Mambo number 5. Thanks, Margine. All right, so let's start here, and we'll work our way out. And again, I'm not so worried about being consistent and even. That's where the blender pen comes in. Now, this is great, right? You just go like throughout the whole flower. Oh man, okay, so the wrist does start to hurt right there. The harder you press. Can't deny that. All right, so then come this way. Bring in some color this way. So for the craft room, you guys, we worked on the craft room, in case inquiring minds want to know. Tyler caulked everything. So all the countertops are in, not the countertops, but the countertops. The countertops are in, the cabinets are in, the legs are in, the countertops are caulked, the paint is touched up, and I started to move my stuff in, and I had a cord and it went into the caulk. So Tyler yelled, and he didn't yell at me, but he's like, "Get your stuff out of here, it's not dry." So I was so excited to move in yesterday, and we can't move in quite yet. So we're getting there, really close, really close. So I was hoping to be in there by today, but it's, now he said I have to do one more thing. So, okay, this is where the magic happens. I feel like there's one more thing that needs to happen now before he said I can move in. I don't remember what it is. All right, are you ready for it? So you can see some streaky lines. This is my favorite part about using colored pencils, is using the blender pen. And it really smooths out all the lines. So you can see the left done and the right not done. So that's really how you can see the difference between these. And again, you're not using permanent ink to stamp. I used a water-based stamp pad. So you want to would like to get, oh yes, Doris, no problem. We can get this one as one of yours for your order that you placed recently. You want to make sure you're hovering over very lightly and not trying to bring the gray in, because the gray could bleed. But there is that, okay? So we got the Old Olive. You got to make sure you wipe out any color that's in your marker. Now this is the fun part. So you can see the difference between these two. That's all smoothed out, so you can kind of watch. I'm going to start on one side here, and I'm going to go within each section. I'm trying not to go over the gray too much. And if you don't have colored pencil all the way to the edge, you can push that color around You guys see, and this is mad. This is almost as fun as embossing, I think, like heat embossing. If you don't have color in certain spots, you can push this color around and it will fill in the cracks, let's say. All right, watch this last one right here, like blah, and then all of a sudden, voila. Super cool. That's how you do it. And now you can kind of see there's a difference between these. This one was made upstairs with my colored pencils in that box, and I have my own set of colored pencils right here. And definitely that might have something to do with it, that these are the old style, like this is the original assortment from back where it doesn't have Bermuda Bay and Rich Raspberry anymore. And I would say, for those of you who have this watercolor pencil assortment, there is a Rich Raspberry in here. And if you want to use Rich Raspberry, look at this color right here. That is the perfect color for these two cards if you want to use colored pencils for these, right? You could use the colored pencil Rich Raspberry, and it would work perfectly. But the only thing is there is no pretty peacock for a colored pencil, which I'm sad. I wish they had every colored pencil color. I wish they had these as the color families for colored pencils, so that you have all colored pencils, and then they should have, they just put, in the neutrals, they could put the odd colors like vanilla. All right, so there you go. This can now get glued. Again, it's a little bit damp because of using that blender pen, so I don't want to add more liquid to it, so we're going to use like this. Hi, Laura Sullivan. She said, oh no, the silver piece makes it look like the flower is in a pot. Oh, you're correct. You're very correct. Laura said, is this the first or the second card? It's the third card, Laura. We're at 220. I did not jibber jabber. You guys, if you caught me, whatever class we had Thursday night, I jibber jabbered for a whole hour because it felt like it had been forever since we were together. So I had so many updates. Now this one, I didn't have as many updates because I feel like we talked about a lot of stuff last week. And now this is going to go on here, and I don't know, it's centered top to bottom, but I think I have it more to the right than the left. Something like that. And then we already have this staged and ready to go. And I have it so that you don't see the stem at the bottom. So it's, all right, I notice here I have a little bit more white on this side. This guy's a little bit, well, it's the same length, but I have a little more white on this side. So we'll put it right here. And I'll have it lined. So this one I'm going to line up with the white here. That'll be good. On this one, I have a little bit of the white cut off, and so it's not right along the edge. For this one, it's right along the edge there. So it kind of like follows the line. Cool. And then we've got some diamonds are forever, ever, ever. We have a big one and two small ones. All right. Rhinestones are a classic. They've been around the block a time or two, and they fit this card very nicely. So that's what we've got for that. Now, what you could do, if you are ever so inclined with Stella-ing, if it's not a very juicy Stella pen, you could potentially use your Stella pen and add some Stella over the top of these, the flower area, being careful not to make it bleed too much. But you can definitely add that Stella, and if you're gonna do the green leaves, make sure you don't have pink in before you go to the green leaf section. That's a way that you could add Stella to that. You could also Stella your ribbon. Don't be afraid to do that. You could Stella all your designer paper. Add a little shimmer. I don't have a lot of Stella in here, right? So when I'm doing this, oh, it's actually putting Stella on. Oh yeah, from down there, it didn't look like, I don't know if I can catch it in the light here, but it just was a hint of glitter on there, but it's controlled glitter, so you don't have to cut your fingers off if you touch it. Okay, boom. Very nice. We did it. Look at us cruise, you guys. It's only 2:23. Laura, that's probably why you thought that I probably talked for a bunch on the front end. So, all right. I have here this card, which we did last, the second card. And then the middle card is the peacock with the berry, the black berry. You guys can tell me which one is your favorite, favorito. And while I do that, you guys do that, I will clean off some stamps really quick, and then we're going to do a drawing for a stamp set. I had 23 people that placed orders over $75 during free shipping last week, and we're going to pick one of you guys to be a winner chicken dinner. I have a few new stamp sets from the mini catalog, and whoever wins, I'll reach out to them and make sure. I always want you guys to win something that you want, not to just randomly send something your way and then you're like, yeah, I don't want it. So I'd rather have you get things you like. So I'll reach out to the winner and see what they are thinking for a stamp set. All right, very good. And again, that sentiment that we used for the happy birthday comes from the Country Birdhouse. And we used almost all the peony set here, pretty much the whole thing. So it's nice because it has some versatile sentiments and then a few focal images. It makes for a really great Let's Just Stamp because we can feature the whole stamp set. Sherry said it's hard to pick one. They're also pretty. Yay. Well, that's always a good answer too. I like that. And Debbie likes the peacock. One is her favorite. Good, good, good. And the next Let's Just Stamp, you guys. Let's talk about it. The next Let's Just Stamp features a set that is going to be not available next month. So Diane and I worked ahead. All right, we have to with all the classes. I think we have 6 classes next month and the escape. So we had to start working ahead a couple weeks ago. We already picked, this was way before Stampin' Up! Announced their last chances. Let me go get the cards really quick. So about 2 weeks before Stampin' Up! Announced their last chance list, Diane and I made an executive decision that we were going to feature these. No, not the otters. Wrong stamp set. One moment, please. It is the zinnias. So we've already done a zinnias class. We used zinnias for a special ad hoc class last July. So we thought, well, let's use zinnias for a Let's Just Stamp because there's a couple sentiments and then the zinnias are so pretty. So it has dies, but we didn't use the dies per se in class. Yes, you could. But the other set we brought in with it is called, so we have Simply Zinnia and Softly Said. And we use some of the words from here. Now, I've made the executive decision in this business that we do that if we design a class, we are not redesigning a class, even if the product becomes unavailable. No, we don't have time for that. And I explained that to Sarah Douglas when she was here, and she's like, okay, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Like you're running your business, and if we like make things disappear, then that's like how it goes. So we're still moving forward with this class, and it's already photographed and everything is in the works for Jolene, like to prep and prepare a PDF tutorial. So with that being said, they announced the last chance list, I think last week or the week before, and both of those stamp sets were on it. So if you really like these cards and you would like the matching stamp sets to make these cards and you don't have them, you can still get them right now. They are in the last chance section of the online store, and the cards that we're going to be making for next month for the zinnias are these. And this features some new sale-a-bration paper, the free the blooms paper. And this is another one where if you don't have the zinnia stamp set, you've got a white piece of white, it's a white piece of white, a white rectangle piece, and you can stamp on it whatever you want. And you could put a different sentiment. So you don't necessarily have to have the zinnias to do these cards. This one features that zinnia, and if you don't have the dies, you could always fussy cut them out. But if you have the dies, you could die cut them. So that's where the Celebrate got pulled in. And this one is on the inside here, is where we pulled in Words Fail to Express My Gratitude comes from the set. And this is some of that memorable blooms, or the blooms designer paper. And then this one, it features the Just Because from here. And then it has 3 of the zinnia heads. So if you have a flower stamp set at home that has flowers that are in like a circular shape or an oval shape, and some leaves, you wouldn't have to have the zinnia. So this has 3 of them, and then it has that blooms paper. Now, this is what we're doing. We're not changing it, and I know we're going to talk about it next month that these are retired, but you still have the availability to go get them. And Lynn has the zinnias. Yay. If you go to the online store at the moment, I'm pretty sure you could even maybe see if you are interested in the Softly Said. I don't know if it's on sale. It is on sale, you guys. It's on sale for $10 from $20. $5. The stamp set is $10. And the words were really nice. So we had Celebrate Thinking of You, and then Just Because are what we used. And then if you're interested in the zinnia, I don't know if that's on sale or not. It is. Well, the dies are on sale for $19.80, and the stamp set is, you guys, it's on sale for $12.50. So it's half off. So if this was something that was on your radar, that you liked it, but not enough to buy it when it was regular price, and now that it's half off, maybe you might be interested, and it's out here. So just putting that out there that you can still get it now, and then next month it's gone. I think that it's available while supplies last, or when the catalog period ends on January 6th and we go over to the new catalog on the 7th, it will not be available. So that's how that works. So these are the cards that you guys could get signed up for Let's Just Stamp for next month. For those of you who know that you usually like to take a whole lot of classes from me, what you should do is stage an email, put it in your drafts, like start to write the email and say in there, hey, I'd like to take some January classes with you. I know for certain I want Let's Just Stamp. And then pause and don't send the email. Wait till you see my showcase, because then you can add more classes to it. That really helps me getting like one email with everything that you want for January versus piecemealing it and saying, I want this class, and then I want this class, and then I want this class. And now you've created maybe 5 emails for me to respond to, versus if you just hold it and as I show things, add them to that one email. Because really I like to process an order, let's say for somebody on a monthly basis for classes. It's just, it helps me a lot to, because then I can say, well, would you like these all shipped at once? And then let's save some shipping. And instead of it being X amount, it's actually lower and it's less. And that helps people save on shipping. And I can keep it all organized in my head a lot better that way. So, okay, let's pull the book. I have 3 people. So this class, and a lot of people, I do a class loyalty program. And so a lot of people were able to cash in on this class and get this class for free with the loyalty program. For those of you, I try to catch you as you order, and sometimes I miss. I do have a few of you that I need to reach out to, and you'll be able to redeem your classes in January for the free loyalty. So I gotta try to catch people too on that. So we're gonna do 3 for our random number generator. So we have Sharon in there, we have Jeannie Gertis, and we have one other lovely lady, Kathy Dolly Nagari. So those 3 ladies are in on this drawing. So I'm going to flip the camera down and I'm going to hit generate. So 3 was in there prior. So I'm going to hit generate. Number 1, and number 1 is Kathy Dolly Nagari. So Kathy, you are our lucky winner. Now, for the drawing for the free stamp set, I have 23 names, you guys. I love it, 23. And we're going to click the word generate, and it's going to hopefully, I mean, it can be 1, but I'm going to hit generate. 19 is Amy Ponce. Yay. All right. So Amy, I'll be reaching out to you for a little email to see what you want for your stamp set. I have a couple to choose from. I know I have about 3 that you could pick from. So all new from the catalog. So wonderful. Thank you everybody who placed orders with me during free shipping. I really appreciate it. It's amazing. It did good for a lot of people. I know that whenever you can save and get on free shipping, that's amazing. They do free shipping, I would have to say at least 5 times a year. They always do it in December, and it's usually between the end of the first week and somewhere in the 2nd to 3rd week. So there's a range there from the 5th to the 20th that they've done it in the past. So I always know it's sometime in December. And then they sometimes do it in May, sometimes in October, and then I feel like there's 2 other months. And so you get to feel for how they have done it in the past, and you kind of watch for it in the future. So that's good. I always love free shipping. Who doesn't love free shipping, right? I mean, I think we all do. So, all right. I have, what do I have? I'll publish the Share, Create, Inspire email for you guys, and the Facebook. I don't think I've created the Facebook event, so I'll do that. Make sure that you're looking for me. If you want to watch that class, I'm going to do it Wednesday at 10 a.m., not in the afternoon. And then that will give Diane and I the afternoon then to finish designing the escape cards. And then we don't have to like kind of pause in the middle of the day. And so that'll be good. And then I'll be live with you again Wednesday night for Ink, Paper, Scissors, the Snowy Wonder. I have about 5 of that class left. I'm thinking that by the time I have class, or like by the end of class, there might not be any left. So if you were on the fence with Snowy Wonder, please reach out to me so I can make sure I get it for you. I have not emailed the PDF for that class, you guys. It is still being written, okay? It's just where we're at. Right now, today, Jolene's writing the Technique Club class. that Rose is teaching on Thursday at 11:30. Tomorrow, she's planning to write ink, paper, scissors. And then on Wednesday, she's planning to write the Sweet Regal Winter PDF. So just so you have an idea, most likely I can see it in my head that each PDF will be mailed the morning of each class. Except for technique, I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. And then Wednesday morning, ink, paper, scissors, and Thursday morning I'll try, like that's at the latest, right? I always try to have it the day before, but it's been hard with Jolene and her migraines and going to the hospital and getting back on track with her life. And like if you go to the hospital for 4 days, things just don't get done at home, right? And so it's always trying to play catch up. And that's how it kind of got with the tutorial. So I appreciate everybody's patience. I had people start emailing me and asking me recently where are tutorials at, you guys. It takes me extra time to respond to all those because I feel that I need to reply, and I do. But just know, like, just hang tight, and not everybody's hearing this. I think only 46 of you are watching, but if you are taking any of those classes with me, just hang tight. I'll get the tutorials out as soon as I possibly can. I can't send them before I have them. And it really helps that Jolene writes them. So it allows me to get other things done. So like designing. All right. I think that might be it for now. I'm actually going to head over to the post office and take my cards over there, which is really good. So you guys could start to expect some Christmas cards from me soon. We'll get them done. And then I will be live with you guys on Wednesday morning. So yay. All right. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. I hope you guys enjoy doing Let's Just Stamp with me and making the 3 Poised Peony cards. And if you didn't use Poised Peony, I can't wait to see what you guys made. Make sure you photograph your cards and put them in the class card challenge post that I have for the month of December so we can see what you're using. All right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. You guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. Love ya. Bye.